Hello everyone, welcome to another video. Today I wanted to do sort of a behind the scenes commentary for my dinosaur documentary. So, yeah, thank you for all the support that that video got. I'm definitely doing a part 2 because you guys seem to really enjoy it. I'm actually currently in the process of writing the story for the second part to this video. I haven't gotten into actually recording anything or anything like that. Now, originally this video wasn't going to be for YouTube. It wasn't even going to be a video. It was just something I was doing for fun, and that's why there's a few inaccuracies. Because at first I wasn't doing a whole lot of research into it, because I was obviously just doing it for fun. So that's why there's a few inaccuracies, which I will point out. Just give you any cool behind-the-scenes information, anything to note on what's going on. So, I think I'm just going to skip to the actual documentary part. And, yeah, let's do this.
Tyrannosaurus might have done this often to conserve energy. But this particular T-Rex can't rest for long. This is Sue, an absolute giant in the T-Rex world. She is nearly 40 feet long and weighs in excess of 30,000 pounds. Though Sue has a ferocious appetite, now she has a couple extra mouths to feed. She has a batch of 5 newborn T-Rex chicks, each of which is covered from head to toe in downy red fluff. As they age, these feathers will slowly disappear. They are so young they still have a small horn on the end of their nose. This is called an egg tooth. Helps the hatchlings break free of their eggs. In the coming days, the egg tooth will vanish entirely. Right now, the hatchlings are completely helpless and rely on their mother to get them food. Today, carrion is on the menu for the chicks.
So, something I wanted to do, to make it seem as accurate as possible, is not to make it seem like these animals are characters in, like, a story. I wanted them to seem like actual animals that behaved like actual animals, and not going to name any specific documentaries, but I have noticed in a few of them that they're overly cartoonish and portray the animals with more human-like features. And I wanted the creatures in the show to seem like actual animals.
Sharp teeth. But once they get older, they will develop powerful jaw muscles to bite with, giving them an extremely powerful bite force. Elsewhere, a large herd of triceratops tramples through the undergrowth. Like modern grazing animals, they are an important part of the ecosystem. They keep the grass short and stop it from growing too much. This baby is already a meter long and has just as much of an appetite as the adults. The group is led by a dominant...
The reason it sometimes sounds like I read it weird is because I basically recorded the audio as a video instead of as audio, so that way I could cut out the parts where I messed up. And that's why it sounds like I read it weird sometimes, because that part is cut.
Later that day, the Triceratops herd is moved on to an open plain.
Jeez Louise, my hair!
Unbeknownst to them, they are being hunted.
Hold up. So there's a few references to things that I enjoy in this. Of course, the name is a reference to Jurassic Park. There's references to Walking with Beasts. All 3 Walking Withs. There's mostly just Walking with Dinosaurs, but there's a reference to Walking with Beasts and a scene that is pretty heavily inspired by one from Walking with Monsters, which I'll point out when we get there. And that part where he said they are being hunted is obviously a reference to Jurassic Park, because Robert Muldoon is like, because we are being hunted.
Stalking the herd. This is unusual for a T-Rex, but it seems this band of Tyrannosaurs has figured out they can hunt much more successfully when
Walking with Beasts music is so good. I use the Walking with Beasts and Walking with Dinosaurs music because it's very good and it suits it very well. I'm thinking about including more music in the second part of the video. So yeah. I think this video is actually copyright claimed because of the music.
But she is nowhere to be seen.
What was that?
The T-Rexes hear the calls
Ow, I
of the
hit
baby
my
and
lip.
use that to find it. Right as one is about to make a snack of the baby, the uses her large horns and frill to intimidate the attacker. In response to this, the Tyrannosaur runs away. For Tyrannosaurus, it would be suicide to take on a healthy, fit adult Triceratops.
Also, I have equipped my gamer gear.
Especially a mother protecting her baby. In the morning, it is revealed that the trio made a kill. It's a juvenile Triceratops. Many infants never see their first year, but it seems this is not enough food to satisfy all three tyrants. For them, this is the only disadvantage of hunting in groups. Since they don't normally do this, they haven't evolved social hierarchies like most pack-hunting carnivores. Because of this, the Tyrannosaurs are forced to leave to find more food elsewhere.
I'm just realizing now that I say elsewhere, and because of this, so many times.
Sensing the danger, the babies call out, a similar behavior to modern alligators.
Jeez, my hair, I'm sorry.
The mother's parental instincts kick in. The mother's ears are poised to hear the distress calls of an infant tyrannosaur from miles away. She gets to the nest fast.
Whatever, I'll just do this, I guess.
To scare off the attackers. Even though this startles the pack, they are determined to get some food. But the mother is not having any of it. She is Sue, the same mother from before. Her strive to save her baby's lives is infinitely great. One of the Tyrannosaurs lunges for the nest, but is quickly stopped by Sue, who clamps her jaws down on the Tyrannosaur's neck, killing him almost instantly. It is thought that Tyrannosaurus rex had the most powerful bite force of any terrestrial animal.
So,
The Tyrannosaurs run off, defeated. Sue lets out a triumphant roar, signifying her dominance.
So originally, I didn't have that stuff about how T-Rex had the most powerful bite force, or how the reason she let out a triumphant roar was signifying her dominance. I added those in because I wanted it to seem more realistic, and you can kind of see that. So yeah.
By the next day, the carcass is almost completely stripped of meat by the T-Rex family, and the mother is forced to find more food for the babies. While she is gone, the scavengers have an opportunity to eat what is left of the carrion. Around here, the Quetzalcoatlus act as a cleanup crew. They are a huge species of pterosaur. In fact, they are the largest creatures to ever fly. They look incredibly bizarre. They have a long, sharp beak that takes up the majority of their head, and they possess a bony crest above their incredibly small eyes. Their head is perched up on a neck long enough to rival that of a giraffe. And to top it all off, they have a wingspan of nearly 40 feet.
So, just a quick disclaimer. The Quetzalcoatlus in the video, jeez, I'm gonna have to do this the whole video, aren't I? The Quetzalcoatlus in the video is based off of the Hell Creek Asdardrakid, I believe is how you pronounce that word, Asdardrakid, which is the group of pterosaurs that includes Quetzalcoatlus. And that creature might not be a Quetzalcoatlus, it probably is, but there's a possibility it isn't. And that specimen is smaller than the estimate I said there, and that estimate in the video is more based off of just the Quetzalcoatlus instead of the Hell Creek Asdardrakid, and that's why it's so big, instead of the Hell Creek Asdardrakid size, which is smaller than a Quetzalcoatlus, and it's probably just like a juvenile one. But technically we don't know yet if that one is a Quetzalcoatlus.
They're like a giant marabou stork. Most of the time, they eat carrion, but will oftentimes eat small live animals as well.
Jeez, hair.
A chick that has wandered from the nest proves an easy meal. One day, its siblings might grow big enough to make a meal of the Quetzalcoatlus. Once the mother T-Rex gets back, it's time to go. Wings spread and fly off.
What is going on with that?
5 years have passed, and the baby Triceratops from earlier is now being forced out of the herd by the dominant male. His mother calls out in anger, but it is no use. There is nothing in this forest that can stop an adult male Triceratops. Later on, the young male encounters a traffic jam. It's herd of Montosaurus.
It's my favorite scene, by the way. It's a really cool reference to Walking with Dinosaurs in this scene.
The herd is led by an alpha male. He is 42 feet long. He's big even for an Edmontosaurus. Once they get to this size, not even the T-Rexes will go for them. However, there's one predator that will. A Dakotaraptor. Looking at this creature, it is easy to see dinosaurs' relation to birds. Even though it's a fraction of the size of a T-Rex, Dakotaraptor has a secret weapon. It is not alone. And somewhere nearby are the rest of the pack. They have been stalking the herd for 3 days, and it seems that the time is right. The matriarch calls out to the others. The Edmontosaur herd is startled and rear up in defense. Then suddenly,
this music,
raptors come out of the
so good.
bushes to attack. Like lions today, the raptors go for the young, the old, and the weak. An injured female is the prime target. One of the raptors uses its powerful hind legs to jump up on the back of the female. It attacks with its 4-inch sickle claws on each foot, digging them into the side of the Dinosaur. The second raptor jumps up onto the animal's neck, biting down on it with its razor-sharp teeth. Elsewhere in the herd, the matriarch Dakota raptor goes for a juvenile. The alpha male in Montosaurus steps in. He uses his powerful leg muscles to kick the raptor straight in the stomach, sending it hurtling backward. The kick is so powerful, it damages the organs of the raptor, killing it.
So, I said at the beginning part of the video that there's a really cool reference to Walking with Dinosaurs, and that is it. That line, and somewhere nearby, the rest of the pack. That's very similar to a line from Walking with Dinosaurs, and in the scene where the Utah Raptors are hunting the iguanodon. I believe it's in the Ornithochirus episode. I could be wrong, but yeah, it's a reference to that. And also how one of the Dakota Raptors jumps onto the side of the Montosaur and the other one bites down on its neck is the same way that they kill the iguanodon in the show. It's just a cool reference to Walking with Dinosaurs because that show is amazing. And also the music that plays is the same music from that scene.
Elsewhere, the female in Montosaurus has finally succumbed to the raptor's attack. It will provide a feast for the pack later on. The raptors drag the body elsewhere as to not be bothered by other carnivores. The death of the matriarch is a serious blow to the raptor pack. Normally, the matriarch eats first, then the other adults, and then lastly, the juveniles. But the absence of a leader has caused confusion and conflict within the group, and they fight over who gets first pickings. But in the heat of the chaos, none of them notice another creature sneaking towards them. Then suddenly, the creature pops out of the bushes and lets out a bird-like call, scaring away the raptors. It's a dinosaur called Anzu. It looks like a cross between a cassowary and one of the raptors. And in fact, it is a distant relative.
I'm sorry, I'm very uncomfortable.
Like the raptors,
I guess
he's
it's better.
covered in feathers. Unlike the Dakota raptor, however, he isn't very threatening and doesn't have any weapons to catch live prey. To combat this, he has evolved brightly colored feathers that he uses to surprise and scare off other predators, allowing him to steal their food. But he isn't getting too...
So, yeah, basically, I didn't realize this, but actually Anzu was probably an omnivore. And I said herbivore in that disclaimer because I was being conservative, because I don't know if there's actually any evidence of it being an omnivore, but it was most likely an omnivore. So, yeah, would have eaten small creatures and plants mostly. So, it was definitely not a scavenger like it is in there. And I'll try to do a better depiction of the Anzu in the second episode. But, I don't know. That was just one of those inaccuracies like I was talking about earlier.
For himself. He comes
Jeez Louise, my hair is ridiculous.
They nuzzle to show affection.
It's like, my hair belongs there.
Because of this, the male must constantly come to her with food so she doesn't starve. He will continue to do this until the eggs hatch. The female Anzu must keep a watchful eye. Here, there are predators who love to snack on dinosaur eggs. A few meters away, a Paleocenoa, a large Gila monster-like creature nearly 2 meters long. It approaches slowly as to not catch the attention of the mother, but she has the eyes of a hawk. In an instant, she is up and squawking at the intruder. Defeated, Paleocenoa lumbers off.
It's very loud.
It has been
Also, I have the gamer gear so you guys can hear me well.
Dinosaurs lay eggs. In an open plain, we see a herd of Ankylosaurus as they come to.
There's another reference because the music that is playing is the Ankylosaurus theme from Walking with Dinosaurs.
A small lizard called Obamodon comes to the edge of the water, but its drinking is interrupted.
What was that?
When a prehistoric
I messed
alligator
up in editing there. I just forgot to cut that part out.
to try and eat it. Just a quick reminder, go subscribe to my new channel, Crazy D. Alright, back to the video. But the Obamodon has speed on its side, and uses its quick reflexes to dodge the alligator's attack. A Paleocenoa sees an easy opportunity for meal. These lizards can go months without eating, but it seems this one has its eye fixed on potential prey. An ancient horseshoe crab called Castorelimulus has found itself upturned and out of the water. It is a sitting duck for the large lizard, who gobbles the crab up, shell and all. Another creature comes down to drink. It is a Torosaurus, a massive relative of Triceratops. It's kinda rare here. This one is a visitor from the south.
I heard that line kind of weirdly.
Torosaurs travel in herds, but this male has been separated from his herd for some time now, and is vulnerable alone. Around here, there is safety in numbers.
Round here.
It's a Denversaurus, a smaller relative of the armored Ankylosaurus. This Denversaurus travels with an Edmontosaur herd.
I think it was around this time when I was writing it that I started purposefully doing it for a video.
Pachycephalosaurus is given.
Pachycephalosaurus.
The male
Pachycephalosaurus.
fight for the right to mate. Contrary to popular belief, the Pachycephalosaurus
Music is so good. I think this is my favorite music from
If they were to do this,
anything.
their skulls.
Other than the Lost World Jurassic Park theme. That one's really good too.
For display. Most of the time, these disputes are won by the male with the largest domed skull, but occasionally it will lead to a brawl.
Pachycephalosaurus.
Use their powerful arms to wrestle each other. The strongest individual wins the right to mate. As for the loser, he will venture off in search of a partner somewhere else. Elsewhere, the Dakota raptor has grown in numbers. It seems the pack has recovered quite well since the death of the matriarch a year ago, and there is now a new alpha. Right now it is breeding season, and this female Dakota raptor is sitting on a patch of eggs. Like modern-day birds, the mother will closely guard them for 2 weeks until they hatch. During this time, she will not eat. Because of this, the roles in the pack are reversed. For a short period of time each year, the males do the hunting. The band of 3 males is off searching for food. One of them is a juvenile. This will be his first hunting trip. During this time of year, it is vital for the youngest males to learn hunting skills. If they don't now, they will never be able to hunt successfully. Unfortunately, it seems that to get to the hunting grounds, the group will have to cross a large lake.
This scene was inspired from a scene from Walking with Monsters. That's one of those references I was talking about earlier.
Here there are hidden predators that lie below.
It changed. That's really good artwork. Shout out to the people that made these artworks. That's what I included a thing at the end of the video, like saying credit to those people. I had to reverse image search because I, couldn't find who did them.
Where it is deep enough to conceal a large body. One by one, they take a leap of faith and get to the other side. But it seems the juvenile Dakota raptor is having trouble.
So much itches.
Its struggle is like a magnet for anything lurking below. And suddenly, the young Dakota raptor is dragged under by a large Brachycampsa, a prehistoric alligator.
So, realistically, or more accurately, Brachycampsa is not specifically related to alligators, but just crocodilians in general.
Later,
yeah.
the dead Paleocenoa. The large lizard will provide a banquet.
So that's just another small inaccuracy that just slipped through the research, I guess.
Pack structure. When feeding, it becomes apparent the clear hierarchy within the pack, starting with the alpha female, then the other females, then the males, and finally the young Dakota raptors. It seems that every pack member will get a piece of this meal.
So, I'm sorry.
In the time that has passed, the young male Triceratops from earlier has grown. He's now big enough to take on
music is just so good. I had to
nearly a year ago.
So also, I think the soundtrack that this is called is Torosaurus Lockhorns. I believe that's what the music is called. And I guess it's sort of a reference.
The male has grown weak with age. As he approaches the herd, he emits low-frequency sounds that signal he is ready to claim dominion of the herd. The alpha male responds.
Reference to Jurassic World Dominion.
Displaying his horns. The smaller male does the same. As they do this, they flush blood into their frills, which turns their frill a reddish-brown color. This tactic is used by males to intimidate their opponent. but it seems neither male is backing down. Suddenly, they charge at each other, locking their horns. Though the alpha male is larger, he has lost his vigor. He is now much more vulnerable than he was a year ago. The younger male takes advantage of this. He quickly twists his head, causing one of the alpha's horns to snap. Defeated, the previous alpha runs off. He will survive this injury, but he will also be more vulnerable to attack. All alone, he has become a
I think I probably should have ended the music a little bit before that, because that sounded kind of weird. Nursing his pride under a large tree. That's a reference to Walking with Beasts. So yeah, that's a reference to Walking with Beasts. It's the part in the Australopithecus episode where I forget their names, but I think it's Gray and whichever the other one is, are fighting, and the loser is, it's like, the narrator says he's nursing his pride in the background, so that's sort of a reference to that.
This is the last surviving chick from Sue's egg clutch. After having her fill, she lays down to rest by the watering hole. Meanwhile, more creatures come down to the pond. The Dakota raptors approach the watering hole, but they aren't here for a drink. When they arrive at a mud puddle, it becomes apparent what they are doing. The matriarch Dakota raptor starts rolling in the mud, then suddenly, the rest of the pack start joining in. While it might look like the raptors are just having good fun, rolling in mud has a genuine purpose.
Another reference to Walking with Beasts.
The raptors are constantly bothered by biting insects. This seemingly useless behavior is an adaptation to prevent them. It seems that the baby Dakota raptors have hatched from their eggs since we last saw the pack, and some of the youngest members are starting to play with one another. This pretend fighting helps the Dakota raptors hone in on hunting skills.
Jeez, I'm so itchy.
Vital for survival someday. Here we are seeing the
ominous music.
With great ingenuity, similar to our own ancestors. Unfortunately, though, in the coming millennia, Dakota raptor, along with many other species, will start to gradually die off. They will continue to do this until 66 million years ago, when a giant asteroid nearly 15 kilometers wide smashes into the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico, dramatically speeding
Oh my
up.
gosh, why am I so itchy?
This crash causes massive amounts of debris to be thrown into the air and huge tidal waves that wash over large parts of the Americas. This
I read that very weirdly.
Of the dinosaurs, along with 75% of all life on Earth. All creatures weighing over 25 kilograms were killed off. In its wake, the event left a very strange world, which would eventually become what we know today. But for now, though, this baby Dakota raptor has a long and prosperous life ahead of him.
Alright, so... what was I gonna say? So, something I didn't want to do at the end is just end it with the meteor coming and killing them all. Because I kind of wanted it to end on a little bit of a lighter note. So, that's why I just explained what happened. And then, you know. So, I just think it's kind of cliche. Because almost every dinosaur documentary that takes place in this time and place ends like that. Also, the credits. I don't know how many of you, I should say, watch the credits. But it's really funny. Music from Walking with Dinosaurs and Walking with Beasts. Paleo art by Frederick Wyram and Robert Simone. Narrated by Luke and Wood. That's me! Produced by Jackson the Memalot Productions. Edited by Luke and Wood. Written by Luke and Wood. A Steven Spielberg film. I'm a very mature person. Starring Sue the Tyrannosaurus Rex. Darren the Dakota Raptor. Tori the Triceratops. Eddie the Edmontosaurus. And Quinn the Quetzalcoatlus as the Quetzalcoatlus. Why are you still here? The show's over. As you can see, I'm a very mature person. If you don't know what that is a reference to a video I did ages ago. Or it might have been a few months ago or something. Something like that. But basically, it was a Jurassic World Evolution Battle Royale video. And there was a part where I paused and I said, someone make a meme out of this. And no one did. So I just called my friend and I was like, hey dude. He was like, what? And I was like, make a meme out of this. And he says, okay. And this is that meme. Because nobody did. Other than him. And I told him to. So, yeah. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like. Please do. I'll see you next time. Subscribe, do all the things, you know the drill. Bye.